Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, third Saturday of the month. Welcome to the W.T.Y.L program. We are having a web chat for Young Lupians. And perhaps you're a patient or a caregiver out there looking for fun ways to engage with the kids, or just looking to create fun activities with the kids. This program is, guess what? All about the kids, our future leaders. It is my pleasure to be here to chat with you today. Hi, I'm Leslie Tierney. I'm the Vice President of Operations for the Lupus Foundation of America, Greater Ohio chapter, right? I'm also the patient navigator, lead patient navigator, and the chapter looks for ways to empower and support young lupus patients. So each month we post a live chat to work towards that goal, and we want our young Lupians to be encouraged to dream big and reach for all of their goals. So that's what happens here. The third Saturday of every month, I jump on the internet and chat with all of you. Each month, we look for fun activities and topics to talk about. So I welcome any suggestions or topics you want to cover in the future here. So right now, it's April, and it looks like spring is about to sprout out there. There's a few buds on my trees, and the grass is a little bit greener, so that's really nice. The chapter and I felt that it would be fitting to talk about Earth Day today. So I did a little bit of research. I checked out earthday.com, and they are hosting a ton of celebrations all next week. They have activities and workshops. They plan on hosting a virtual program on April 22nd, which is the official Earth Day. Since we have, our community here, I thought it would be nice for our chapter to, think of ways that we can help Earth Day. What are things that we can do to support Earth Day? It's important to us. Some people, they might plant a tree. I think that's fun, or pick up trash around the community. It's always good. I know I kind of live on a main street, and garbage and debris sometimes ends up on my front yard a lot of the time. So I have to go out there and pick it up. And, I wish people weren't scattering things out and about, but I do pick up that, tree line out there and pick up some trash around the community. Now, okay, by all means, I am not an expert on Earth Day, but I am an advocate, go planet Earth. Big advocate for the Earth. I want to protect it. We have one planet to live on, so I think it's really important for us to take care of it. One of the concepts I would like to help introduce into our community is how we can reduce, reuse, and recycle. So one thing I believe we all have in common is that we all fill prescription medications or buy over-the-counter vitamins or drugs. And on earthday911.com, they state that nearly 70% at least of Americans, 70% of Americans at least have one prescription. And over half of those have two prescriptions. So that's a whole lot of empty bottles when the medications are done. While some of these bottles are recycled and reused, many of them do end up in a landfill. So have you ever given it any thought, what do we do with our leftover bottles? I am super curious what you guys do. If you could just share with me, if you're out there watching, share with me what you do. I am curious. So I actually went through my own medicine drawer, and I just kind of emptied out to see what was going on there. And I got a lot of bottles. So what do you do with them? If you want to let me know, I'd be curious to see what you could do. But I have some ideas. I just went through my own medicine drawer and pulled out what I had. So think about it. How many bottles do you have in your cabinet or drawer? Really think about each person in our neighborhood or how many bottles they have. That's a lot of bottles. So I want to encourage us to talk about this with our family and our friends and think of ways that we can reduce, reuse, recycle. So here's a couple things that I thought about, and on how we can think about that. And I have one little friend out there. Thanks, Victoria, for commenting. I appreciate your smiley face. That made me happy. Thanks for chatting and say hi, checking in and saying hi. I appreciate that. But okay, so the first thing that I want to think about here, the couple of things that we want to think about. So reduce. What can you do to reduce these medicine bottles? So you could talk to your pharmacist or your doctor about maybe filling your prescription a 90-day prescription instead of like a 30-day prescription, so that you can use less bottles. That might be a possibility, just so that there's less bottles that you're taking home. But I think inevitable, if you're filling prescription medications, you're still getting these bottles at home, which is good because they help protect it. There's special plastic here, which we'll talk a little bit more about. So reducing the amount of bottles you bring into your home could be helpful. Reusing them. Can you think of ways that you can reuse these bottles? I've really seen some interesting things on ways to reuse them, and I actually reuse them quite often too. Like if I'm traveling or going on vacation, I sometimes put like my hair conditioner, or sunblock in there. Really good thing if you put a little bit of sunblock in here and throw it in your bag, you're protected for the whole day when you go out and about. So it's really nice to have that thrown in your bag, and you don't have to put the big bottle in. You can use just a smaller one. But I think it's really good to put conditioner, shampoo, instead of buying those little bottles, travel bottles, you could just use stuff that you have around the house, which is an excellent way to reuse. I saw on Pinterest a couple people put their earbuds in them, so then you can put your earbuds in your bag and they'll be protected and not smashed, and you can find them easy in your bag. But I think it's a smart thing to do for lupus patients if you want to have a little bit of SPF and not carry around the big bottle in your bag. I think that's a great way. I've also seen someone make like a little sewing kit. They put a thread and needle inside of it. So there's lots of clever things you can do. Instead of buying containers, what can you do to reuse them? So one thing that I actually was talking about with Victoria is that she was saying we use them as fundraising tools with the chapter. And so it is a good fundraising tool for us to use. And we wanted to make mention, especially because, as we all are lupus advocates, it's important to educate others about lupus. And the virtual Walk to End Lupus now is coming up in October. And you can use your leftover medicine bottles to help collect donations. Yes, believe it or not. So it's easy. This is something that we've been doing in our office for a while. It's a no-brainer. A lot of lupus patients take a few medications and some take a lot. And it's important that you do take your medications, but what do you do with these little suckers when you're done? So in the office, we fight for the mission of the Lupus Foundation, and it's easy just to tell your friends and family, how much you believe in the mission to improve the quality and life for all people affected by lupus through programs of research, education, and advocacy. I am a true believer on that mission, and I feel like we spend a lot of time really fighting for that mission. So ask them if they would consider helping you support the mission as well. One day soon, I really hope that we do, I know we will, find a cause and a cure for lupus. But while we wait for scientists and medical professionals to work on that, we can all lend a helping hand by making a donation to support the mission. So can you fill an empty prescription bottle with a donation to help fight back? People have put like loose change in here and given them collected all that change and put them all together and donated that. Going to be honest, a check fits perfectly well in these small little bottles. So you can use it as a fundraising tool. How much impact can you make with reusing your old medicine bottles? I'm super, excited that we thought about this concept because there's a lot of medicine bottles that are not being used or reused. And I have another friend out there, Melissa says, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Melissa. Thanks. And she does her part by getting her prescriptions in a 90-day supply bottle. So thanks for sharing that. It's important that we think about these things and that we think about what we can do to reuse, reduce, and my third one here is now recycling. It's it is really important that we think about that we recycle these babies, right? Because just in my own little drawer, and I didn't pull out all of them, you know, this is the prescriptions I have in there. That's a lot, and that's just for me. So what happens when all these bottles are done? In the United States, plastic recycling has become a challenge, especially with number 5 plastic, and that is what prescription bottles are made from. And you can actually know that because if you look at the bottom of your medicine bottle, you can see a recycling symbol with the number 5 on it. In my research, I found it is polypropylene. It is the plastic, and it cannot be recycled in your normal curbside or drop-off locations, your normal recycling bins. So this is really something to think about. But yeah, so if you look at the bottom here, there's like, check it out. I don't know if you've ever thought about recycling these bottles, but they do have little markings and indicias on it, so you can know what to do with it. So this is really something I want us all to think about. Things you can do to recycle these bottles is 1, ask your pharmacist if they accept number 5 plastic recycling. So it could be as easy as dropping them off at your pharmacy when you pick up a new prescription. There is, again, in my research, I found that there is an Ohio local ministry in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they accept empty prescription bottles. The organization is called Matthew 25 Ministries, and they work to help provide medicine bottles to places in need. You know, there's some countries out there that don't have access to these bottles, and I was reading on their website, they actually wrap their medicine in paper. You know, could you think if you needed antibiotics or some life-sustaining medication and they're wrapping it up in a paper to bring it home to their family or take it later? Bottles are just so much safer. So they distribute these to people in need, and or they shred and recycle them. So that's really interesting and great to know, and that's why I mentioned them, because I think they're doing really important work there by helping and doing their part in recycling. It is really important that when you do recycle them, or you're ready to recycle your bottles, that you clean them, you know, especially if you put like sunblock or lotion in them, clean it out, and definitely take the tag off. Because you don't want your personal information out there, you know, what medications you're on. Typically it has your address and your name on it. So be sure that you remove that label before you send them out to recycling. You know, you just don't want your information out there. So that's important to think about. So yeah, so thank you for listening to my 3 things to recycle, reduce, and reuse on what we could do with our medicine bottles. I learned all my information by just doing a quick, simple search online. I learned 911.com and also earthday.org, which I mentioned throughout you know, this little program that I'm doing. I hope it helps you think of ways to help protect our planet. It can, you know, if we all make these small, simple little changes, collectively we can make one big change, especially in the landfill. So, you know, it's interesting to think about what we can do and how we can do these things together. Let's see if we have any other comments. So I really want to thank you. So one final thing I would like to share with all of you, our young lupus patients out there and the parents, our chapter network of the Lupus Foundation of America, we have just completed a 4-part series of navigating the pediatric lupus journey. And so I wanted to mention to you guys, if you go to our website, let me see if I can do this. Let me switch over really quick because I want to show you so that you can do it. And I appreciate everyone that commented. 1 second here. Yes, let's share my screen. And here we go. There we are. Actually, let me remove some of these banners. There we go. So if you go ahead and go to lupusgreaterohio.org and you come to find resources and you scroll down to educational programs, it's going to bring you to this page. And so we host a lot of programs for you guys out there that I don't know if you're totally aware of. So the one thing, because we're talking to our young Lupians and the parents of young Lupians, is that we have a Navigating the Pediatric Lupus Journey. This is a 4-part series that was just completed. So it was a 4-part webinar series designed to help parents understand lupus and how to care for their child or teen with lupus. So you can actually access all of the past recordings if you go click on this link here to watch past recordings. What it does is it brings you to our YouTube page. And here is the first playback. Here is actually the Pediatric Lupus number 4, Living Your Best Life. And so we definitely want you guys to check that out. This again was in collaborations with our chapter networks. And I think it was really important. This last one just aired on April 15th. And we are so grateful for, everyone that participated and received the information. So if you're interested in watching the playback, go ahead and visit our YouTube. And that's Cindy from Pennsylvania, and we thank her for hosting these past webinars. So it gives better like lifestyle tips, and let me change my screen around. Some lifestyle tips for kids, helping parents talk to their children. So I encourage you to check out our website and check those videos out. It's super important. So again, if you visit our website, there's lots of information out there for you. And I want to encourage you guys to contact the office, email us, or call us if you have any questions. We do have a new chapter website. So if you visit our new chapter website, like I showed you here before, you can go ahead and check out all these tools that we have ready and available right at your fingertips. So I think that brings me to the end of our W.T.Y.L program. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Please contact us if you have any questions or if you want any other topics to chat about. This program is all about the kids. I try to bring some fun and exciting things to you guys. I hope you enjoy the topics and just having a little conversation, breaking up that Saturday. So I will see you guys real soon. I'm sure there'll be other programs popping up, but I enjoy meeting with you the 3rd Saturday of every month for the W.T.Y.L program. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.